We're coming down to the short roads now on this disc number 2. So pretty much I'm happy if I recap. Well, I didn't get my bridge. Okay, it's under my easel, and I don't want you to see the inside of my ear if I bend over to get it. So I'm just going to try to not have to deal with using it. But basically, we've got about like 12 to 14 minutes left of disk space on this second DVD. So what I'm going to do is just push it a little bit more, and then on Wednesday, I'm hoping that I have a nice sunny day on Wednesday, because I really do use quite a bit of, I really do use quite a bit of natural light in my video process. I just switched over to using fluorescent lights. I'm using a natural light. It's called an OTT light, OTT light, L-I-T-E. That's how they spell it. And I like it. It's cool. It's supposed to like give you less eye fatigue. But most of my light does come from my north light window. So basically, I'm hoping and praying that Wednesday is going to be nice and sunny, and that I don't wake up on Wednesday feeling beat up from my very long day of teaching in Manhattan on Tuesday, and I'm going to finish this thing for you. But for the most part, I'm really happy with the way that it's coming out, and I'm enjoying myself working on it. I'm not getting stressed out, and I'm not freaking out that things aren't perfect. You know, I know that it's going to be a good drawing when it's done. Now, the abs area, I think I've spent the least amount of time here. And there's a lot of things on the statue right now that are extremely stiff. This being one of the most stiff areas, because I'm still using straight lines. This is straight. I need to tweak all of that, and there's all these subtle tones. Again, I wish I had somebody over my shoulder, some of you guys, because I've really learned over the years to, get your feedback, and I've gotten a lot of your feedback, and you've told me what you want to learn from me. The one question I haven't asked you all, though, is, do you want to see me rendering out like this? Is this something that you want to see? Because there are some, people who teach, and it's just like they'll teach a little bit, and then they go into their little cave and they finish, and then they come out and they teach a little bit more, and then you're left there saying, well, wait a second, how did you get from point A to point B? I wanted to see that part. Part of me doesn't know if you want to see that part, because sometimes that part could be slow and tedious for you to watch. And I just recently, over the month of December, watched 5 DVDs, and they were about running your website and promoting your website and making your website look better and more user-friendly. And I watched some of the DVDs over like 3 times, and I'm still going to watch them, but I'm a bit of a maniac, and, I want to get it all. I don't want to miss like a second of it. So there's one guy, I'm going to watch him 2 more times. He's incredible. I mean, he's completely different in terms of what market he's in, but the man is just so awesome. His website is all about stocks and all that kind of jazz, which I know nothing about. It's called Trade the Markets or something like that, tradethemarkets.com. But his presentation was the best one. And I learned so much from listening to that guy. And then there was another guy that was really good. And there's so many things that they say, and I go back and I listen to it. Like I listened to that one guy 2 times, and I learned so much the second time because he gave so much information that I just couldn't pick it up on the first go round. So I hope that's how it is with me. I mean, I know when I get into the rendering thing, I tend to go off and tell some stories. The stories are relevant. I try to keep them relevant. But yeah, let me know. Do you like the whole rendering thing, or you just want to see me get proportions and that's it? So that would be very cool. Now I'm going to come back now here, and let's just focus in on, once again, convex line. I'm really going to have to look at this tonight and look at some old master's drawings to make sure that I want to keep this tone, that value, and make the shadow side the darker. I've got to really figure this out. So when I come in and work on this on Wednesday, I'm not wishy-washy about it. Because if I'm wishy-washy about it, it's going to take a long time. But if I know what I want to do with this little area, it's going to go by so much faster. Okay, I'm reiterating those angles over there. Just sharpening that up. You see the atmosphere down here? It's really atmospheric. Why is that? It's atmospheric because all the edges are blending. Edges are a really important thing in realism, and I'm trying to be somewhat realistic. I've still got a ways to go with this drawing, but the control of your edges. Sharp, where to put sharp edges, where to put soft edges, where to lose an edge, all that stuff is so completely relevant. And it really makes or breaks your drawing and shows whether or not you're an amateur or a professional. And you know, I'm not a rocket scientist, as you can tell, but I am pretty good at drawing. And so some of the things that I'm telling you are very basic, but it's the most basic things that are the most profound. And if you implement the basics and you master the basics, you don't need to know the most complicated stuff. You just need to know few simple basic things and actually do them, and do them consistently. I'll give you an example of something that I always tell my students, and this will tell you, how simple I am as well. Basically, I have a mountain bike in the garage, and it is very simple for me to go out into the garage and look at the mountain bike, and then look down at my stomach, and then look at the mountain bike and say, well, I'm not going to ride today. It's a little too cold out. So I close the door to the garage, and then I sit down and I do whatever. But it's also very easy for me to open the door to the garage, step down the steps, go take the mountain bike down off the wall, and go ride around the block for 10 minutes. That's very easy to do. So it's easy and basic. So it's the same thing with drawing. It's very easy and basic, some of the things that I'm teaching you, but they will give you profound results if you follow through on them and you actually practice them. When I say draw 10 minutes a day, that is so very simple, but it's so profound. And sometimes I don't even draw 10 minutes a day, and then I kick myself in the butt for it. So if you can draw 10 minutes a day, that is so simple, but it's so profound that if you do it, it'll give you like some serious results. Now, getting back to this drawing. God, how is this? This needs to be raised right over here slightly. I draw with my eraser. I did not like what I just did there. I need to pay attention to the abs more when I come back. There's all these great subtleties. I'm going to have a lot of fun doing this. I'll give you one more perfect example. Actually, I'm going to save it for the next chapter. That's going to be our last chapter for the day. Last chapter of disc number 2.